Hey guys, how are you doing? I hope you're doing great. Does it happen to you that you're suffering from your lower back? It's very common. So today we have decided to propose to you a flow focusing on lower back release. And I've used my PlayPauseBe cards in order to create the flow. So you have two options. You can either follow with me the practice as we go, or you can also pause the video and take the different numbers in order to create your sequence and go at your own pace. Feel free to do whatever makes more sense for you. In any case, for this flow, you won't need anything but maybe a block depending on your hamstrings flexibility. Hamstrings is the back of the leg. So if you know that you need a block for that, feel free to grab something that you may be able to use as we progress into the flow. Otherwise, meet me into a standing position. So from your standing position, just bring the big toes and the heels together and allowing for the heels to open to the side, following with your toes, and keep your feet parallel. Allow for your toes to lift, to press down to the 3 points of your big toes. Engage your legs, square your hips, keep the belly relaxed, but open your chest, relax the shoulders and the traps muscles. Take a moment to ground yourself into the mountain position, Tadasana. And very slowly start to bring the chin to chest. Allowing the weight of the head to take you down, we're slowly going to recline forward and come into our forward fold. Taking your time. Falling from your head. And when you get to your maximum, when you get into your pose, option to stay released and folded into two like I'm doing. Or you can, if you want as well, grab a hold of opposite elbows. What I tend to see is that a lot of people press onto the heels and shift the weight of the hips back. As much as possible, I would encourage you to shift the weight forward and drop from your hips. We'll stay here for 3 breaths. Take it in. Inhale through the nose. Releasing through the mouth. If you're hyper-flexible, micro-bending your knees, inhaling through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. And one last one, inhale. And very gently exhale. Bending your knees. Allow for your sitting bones to slowly shift the weight of the hips towards the earth. Feel free to lift up the heels if this pose is not accessible for you. And you're going to use your hands in order to find a seated pose on your mat. We'll start with our seated side stretch pose, so feel free to come into your cross-legged pose. Allow for the left fingertips to come to your mat, either on a block or directly to the mat. And on your next inhale, bring in the right arm up. From the right fingertips, extend up, and then slowly, without trying to crush the left side body, start to expand through the right side body. Option to gaze in the direction of the earth and maybe bend the left elbows if you can go into it a little bit more, or to gaze up in the direction of the sky, focusing on the expansion through the right side bodies, creating space in between each of your ribs for 3 breaths. Inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the nose. For 2, relax the left shoulder. Relax the left shoulder. Last breath. Slowly coming back up with your chest, releasing the arms alongside body as you go. Next, inhale, left arm up, right fingertips on your mat. Use your left fingertip to gain some length. Create space in between your left rib cage. And slowly, allowing for the upper body to take you towards the right side. Expanding the space from your left hip towards your left armpit. Breathing in for 3. Relax your right shoulder down. 2. Last. And as you exhale, you can transition out of this pose. For the next pose, you're going to extend your left leg forward and have your right foot come over your left leg. I'm going to grab a hold of my right leg with my left arm. First of all, stay grounded through both of my sitting bones. And from the sitting bones, extend the spine up. So elongation of the spine, complete release of the left toes. And slowly start to feel how you can twist, not using so much your lower back, but most importantly, using your side body and descending towards the lower back. So you have much more mobility in the thoracic part of your spine, but you also have a little bit of mobility for your twist in the lower part of your spine, the lower back. Once you find your maximum, see if with your face, with your gaze, you can deepen your twist. And only when you find the maximum of your twist, you can use your right fingertips in order for you to support your spine. Option to keep your left hand in this position, grabbing a hold of your right knee. Otherwise, you can also use your left elbow in order to press against the right knee and deepen your stretch. Keep your spine long. Inhale, lengthen the spine. As you exhale, deepen your twist. For 3. For 2. Last one. And on your next exhale, releasing the weight of the body forward. Taking a moment to elongate both legs. Taking a moment to bring both hands on top of your thighs. Closing down the eyes for just a small moment of introspection, listening to how the body feels from inside out. Releasing the shoulders, feeling into the lower back, how it feels. Last breath. Bending your left knee this time, placing the left foot outside of your right leg and grabbing a hold of your left leg with your right arm. Once again, start to press down with your sitting bones, and from the sitting bones, lengthen your spine, elongation of the spine. Right toes are released. Slowly start to deepen your twist. And when you find the maximum in your spine, see if you can deepen it with your cervicals, with your gaze. Option to release the left fingertips towards the back of the room as an extra support to keep the spine long. Stand here for 3. On each of your inhale, lengthening through the spine. And on your exhale, deepening your twist. For 2. Last one. And slowly coming back towards the front of the room. Good. Our next pose is going into Paschimottanasana, but like we saw, it is very hard for a lot of us because of lack of flexibility behind the hamstrings, for example. So we'll start with the knees bent. Bring in both hands behind your toes. And on your inhale, we stay here. And on your exhale, you press toes forward. Inhale, coming back up. Exhale, press. And for this particular exercise, you can also alternate your breath, meaning that you can press on your inhale and use your exhale to come back up. So feel free to do whatever makes sense more for your body right now. And the next time you find your toes up, step forward with your heels. And once again, we'll go for 4 times. So exhale, pressing forward if you're using my cues. Inhale, coming back up. Exhale, pressing forward. Inhale, back up. Last one. Back up. Extending once again your heels forward. On your exhale, press forward. And now coming back up. For 3. For 2. Last one. Good. An invitation this time to release now fully your legs towards the earth. Option to relax the hands alongside your legs in order to not rush for your toes. And with your hands towards your mat, see if you can ground your sitting bones a little bit more. Lengthen the span in between your lower back, middle back, and upper back. And from this, allow for the space that is in between the lower belly and the upper thighs to come closer to one another. If you feel the need to bend your knees in order to keep your back flat and deepen your pose, feel free to do so. I would recommend, for the purpose of this practice, if you feel the need to release and round your spine, it's also okay, as we're aiming for the lower back. But feel in which pose makes the most sense for you. One is a bit more engaged and the other one is a bit more released. I prefer, honestly, the more release, especially when I'm trying to create space in my lower back, but sensations are different from everyone, so staying true to what makes sense for you. Stand here for 2 more breaths. Last breath. And slowly transitioning out of this pose. Good. For the sake of deepening your sensation in the lower back, I'll just add a pose that you don't have in this particular sequence, but it's one that is pretty uncommon. It's not a very popular yoga pose, but it feels really good. So you can come onto your toes, bring your heels together, allow for your knees to open, and relax the weight of the body forward. Option to stay like this and to press the hips back. Option to grab a hold of your right heel with your right hand, and with your left hand, your left heel, press elbows into the knees and press the lower back down. This should create a lot of space onto the lower back and create a lot of release if you have pain in this part of your body. Stand there for 3. For 2. And last. On your exhale, transition out of the pose. Once again, coming back to where we were, seated on your mat. You're going to extend your legs in front of you. Make sure that you're seated on the middle of your yoga mat. And very gently, you're going to recline onto your back. If the lower back is screaming at you right now, take a moment to stay into this reclined pose, into this mini savasana that we'll stay into, and just focus your awareness on how the lower back is responding after such extensions. Forward folds. On your next inhale, allowing the right knee to come into the chest. Shift your hips towards the right side, and in your own time, go into your twist. So right knee towards the right side, opening the right arm, gazing with the gaze in direction of the right arm. See how my knee is not going all the way down into the mat. I'd rather have my right shoulder staying grounded, and then I can deepen the pose from the thoracic cage, deepening the twist. Stand there for 3. For 2. Last one. Beautiful. In your own time, extending your legs, coming back in alignment with your hips. And this time we'll bend both knees into the chest, grabbing a hold of opposite knees, either with your hands or with the elbows. Take a moment to roll on your lower back from side to side, or to stay static if this makes more sense for your body right now. Keep your eyes closed, allow for the awareness to drop into the lower back. And as you breathe, Create space. Use your exhale to let go of any sensation that is not serving you right now. And if you're still moving, take a moment to come back into an unmoving position. On your next exhale, extending this time the right leg, keeping the left knee close to you. Shifting your hips toward the left side of your mat, and in your own time from your thoracic cage, going into your twist. So same thing, I open my hand, my left hand. I can gaze in direction of the left side in order to take this twist all the way up into my cervicals. And I can allow the weight of my left knee to deepen the twist as I breathe out. Same thing, I would really recommend that you keep both shoulders grounded and that you work with the weight of your hips and knees and legs in order to deepen your twist. And how we stay. Exhale, deepen. For 2. Last one. In your own time, coming back up. Taking a moment here to keep your knees bent, relax the lower back on the earth. Take a moment to lift your hips up to push the glutes towards the front of the mat, and then release the lumbar spine onto your mat. Closing down the eyes, bring in both hands on your lower belly. Take in 2 breaths. In your own time, allow for the knees to come close to you. The feet are not on the mat, and you're going to open your knees approximately to the width of your shoulders, a little bit larger. Keep your knees bent and allow for your feet to come flat in direction of the sky. We're keeping this position with our legs, even if it feels a little bit weird, and we're going to extend the arms inside of the legs. Use your elbows to press against your knees. Grab a hold of your ankles, first of all, and see if in this position you can press the lower back in direction of the earth. If this is easy for you and your lower back is not completely off, you can, if you want, extend your arms and grab a hold of the outer edge of your feet. And same thing, we keep the knee bent. You use your elbows to press into the knees and the knees to press in direction of the earth. And you use your lower back to press towards the front of the room and down. Option if you're comfortable here to rock your baby from side to side. So happy baby pose, moving from side to side on the lower back. Or to stay static in this position and just to focus on the breath. This one is a really good one, as well as creating space into the hip and around your hips. So we'll stay here for 5 breaths. Closing down the eyes, breathing in. And exhale, press lower back towards the front of the room and down. For 5. For 4. Three. 2. Last one. And very gently releasing the feet, allowing for the feet to come back down. You can once again, if you want, come to hug your knees for just 1 breath. And then your own time, extend your legs out. If you feel like your lower back is not yet grounded, keep your knees bent, lift your hips up, press glutes towards the front of the room, release lower back towards the earth, And when you are like this, extend from your hip flexors. So you don't need to arch your spine in order to extend your legs. When you find this position, allow for the hands to come alongside body, palm of the hands facing up, creating space in between shoulder blades by lifting your shoulders, closing down the eyes if it's not already the case. Taking a moment to completely release any engagement that is present in the body. Allowing my right leg to become heavy towards the earth. Left leg becomes heavy. Right arm. Left arm. The hip area. The chest area. The neck. The throat. Your jaw. And my invitation is for you to leave just a bit of space in between your lips, as well as consciously allowing the space of your forehead to melt towards the earth. Feel free to stay a little longer into this pose if you feel the need to. Otherwise, start to gently deepen your breath. To gently move your toes and fingertips. To maybe extend your arms up. Overhead, going for the morning stretch. And in your own time, bending knees into the chest, allowing yourself to be guided onto one of your sides, either the right, either the left, where you'll be able to come into a side fetus pose, reclining on the side, using the lower arm as support for your head. And just taking a moment to finish your practice of integration. And when the time has come for you, using your hands in order to help you to come back up into a seat. Bring in palm of the hands together in front of your heart. And just thanking your body for its ability to move and to open up. Invitation to end this practice by rubbing your palms together, creating some heat in between the palm of the head. And when you find some heat in between your hands, allow for your hands to come on your lower back. Thank you for joining me for this little flow of lower back release. I hope that you enjoyed this little flow